2 months ago, I sustained a fracture to my finger while playing soccer in a grand final. Unfortunately, we did not win. That time I was working at the meat works, I could not get back to work because it was an outside work injury. I was unable to use my hand because it was my dominant one. 2 weeks have passed by without me working. A close friend of mine who does social work told me that the company that he works for is looking for employees. So, I applied for the job. Within a day of applying, they called me and asked me to come in for an interview. I was thrilled because I finally had an interview for a job that would allow me to work with my injury. The job was good, and I've been wanting to work for this company for a while. I followed up with the interview a few days later. The interview was going very well. They asked me questions and I answered them. When the interview was wrapping up, before I walked out, I asked some questions that I should not have. Blabbering about nonsense that doesn't even matter because the interview was already finished. Perhaps I would have been hired. When I was exiting that interview, I felt that I had botched the interview. I knew that I wasn't going to get the job because I talked too much when I should have been quiet, and I would have gotten the job. Something you can take away from this story is to keep your mouth shut, especially if your quietness will give you success. Because our ego can often get in the way. Sometimes we get ourselves into trouble without even knowing it, by saying things that aren't necessary at all. But some people might say, but if I don't say anything, people will think that I'm weak or shy. They would think that saying a lot would make them look smart and cool, but this actually sometimes makes them look like a clown. If you heard someone constantly talking about how great they are, you would probably think that they are arrogant or full of themselves. But if you are often silent and once you do speak, people will tend to listen and fear you. This will make it difficult for people to read you and not know what you are going to do, because you are so erratic. This will make you seem more mysterious and people will be more drawn to you. When you are silent, it will give you the opportunity to read people easily. You will be listening and observing others, and you will be able to tell when someone is lying and see through people's intentions. Being able to read and get information from people is a powerful skill, and you will learn this from being silent. Silence can be used to your advantage because it allows you to think about what you are going to say before you say it. You can't take back a word after you say it. There is no going back. Serving your ego will not only take away your opportunities, but will also prevent you from achieving the things you want in life. I had to go through this process the hard way. When someone says something that you dislike, especially someone who is superior to you in position, before you speak, please restrain yourself. Take a few deep breaths to calm yourself, and then fight back respectfully. Don't let your emotions control you, even if you know that your superior is wrong, because letting your emotions get out of control will only make things worse later on. Ensure that they compensate to you. If this happens, and they don't want to make it up to you, then you should consider leaving the place because nobody deserves disrespect. Learning how to be silent is one of the most powerful skills you will ever learn. When people speak to you, you will be able to listen more closely because people want to be listened to. Anyone would like for someone to be able to understand and listen to them. If you are a good listener, you will make the other person feel good about themselves. Silence is a good tool for negotiating with someone. When they are speaking to you, there will often be long and awkward silences. If you are comfortable with silence, you will have an advantage, because it is natural for human beings to hate awkwardness. They try to avoid silence, which means the other party will feel nervous and will be more likely to agree to what you want. The silence will make it seem like the other person needs you more than you need them. Silence will allow you to prepare about what you are going to say next. If you say too much, the other party will think that you are nervous, and they will have an advantage. Practicing silence and being alone will feel strange for the first couple of tries, but just like everything else, it will take time. Other than that, this is the power of silence for you.